The Titanic, what can we learn? There were three ships nearby the Titanic when it sank in 1912. The first ship was a ship called Sampson. This was just 7 miles away from the Titanic and they saw the white flares signaling danger. But because the crew had been hunting seals illegally and didn't want to be caught, they turned and went in the opposite direction away from the Titanic. This ship represents those of us who are so busy in our own sin and in our own lives that we fail to see the requirements and the needs of others. The second ship was a ship called the Californian. This ship was only 14 miles away from the Titanic, but they were surrounded by ice fields and the captain looked out and saw the white flares. But because the conditions weren't favorable and it was dark, he decided to go back to bed and wait till morning. By then, it was too late. This ship represents those of us who tell ourselves that I can't do anything. The conditions are not right. The conditions are not favorable. This is not the right time, etc. We wait for the situation, the conditions to be perfect. Now you tell me, how often in life does situation become perfect? So that's why these people will never ever take any action or move ahead because they are waiting for the situation to become perfect. The third ship was a ship called the CARPATHIA. This ship was actually headed in the southern direction and it was 58 miles away from the Titanic. It was moving in the opposite direction when they heard the distress cries from the Titanic over the radio. The captain of the ship knelt down, prayed to God for direction and then turned the ship around and went full steam ahead, cutting through the ice fields. This was the ship that saved the 705 survivors of the Titanic. What can we learn from this? Obstacles and reasons to avoid responsibility will always be there in our life. It's those people who take on that responsibility who succeed. It's such people who endear themselves to the hearts of the people of the world and they'll be remembered by the world forever for the good that they do. How I wish that we could all be Carpathians in our life. This world can be a much more beautiful place to live in. Do you agree with me? So how did you like this perspective of mine? The relationship between these three ships and the real life lessons that we can draw in our own lives. Type like if you did. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.